Hey, what's up, guys? This is T-Bone here. Just wanted to make sure that we're live and all is well before the actual AMA starts with the developers. So the reason I'm doing this today on an off day is because the developers they've agreed to have a session for an Ask Me Anything. That's what AMA stands for, where they're going to answer questions on some of the they're going to provide answers for some of the really burning questions that we have since the announcement that they made last week about the changes to the upcoming event. Where, just to summarize, the changes that we're looking at is no more Master Collection cards. The Vault's going to go away, and we're going to go back into the regular packs. The ultimate form is going to go into 6 stars by default, and it only requires the ultra rare no more Master Collection cards, but it does require the main hero and all the other cards as well. And also the game itself is going to be going through a change where the prestige and overkill, ultra kill, all of those things are going to go away. We're going to go back to sort of like the way things were before 3.0, or I guess halfway through 3.0 when they made those changes. So a lot of changes coming in, and they're going to be answering the questions in the questions section. So you can sort of see here, there's already a bunch of New Dawn AMA dust, like for example, dust, relics, crafting, killer skills, and gameplay changes. These are the ones that Mary Ann is asking, and this is where I'm going to focus on. And so what I'm hoping for is we're not going to have too many, sort of dilution of these questions, so I can just go directly into them. And Marianne was actually really nice in helping me and sent me the links to these questions directly as well, so that if we do lose them, I can just kind of go back and then go into that link directly. But I guess what I can do is instead of trying to be disorganized and go jump around, I was kind of hoping that we could probably focus on some topics at a time. And so I think that one of the biggest questions that we might have is regarding dust, right? So like, what is going to be changing to our dust. And so that is one of the questions I think that we really want to know about. And just looking at what they have here, looks like, I just want to see, this is the one that Marianne asked. So this is not the one that Marianne asked, so I'm going to go into this one. I think what they're going to do is, this is what they're going to answer. But one thing that I do have to say is that I can't guarantee that there isn't going to be any, I can't guarantee the content that is in these answers. So do bear with me depending on what you do see. And so we have some people joining us here as well. So Con William, Deep Hokey, and Legendary Lovers, everybody, welcome to the stream. And so this is going to be my first attempt at covering something that is live. But since this is sort of going to be in text in nature, I can only comment on what I see. And I'm right now, I'm not seeing any answers to any of these questions just yet. I do see upvotes and etc. So I think the way it's going to work based on what I read in the announcement is that Daniil, Tiffany, and I think Mark, they're going to be typing in the answers. I think starting now, they're going to go through these questions and they're going to pick and choose the answers or the questions they're going to be answering them. And based on what I know, right, just because that they've pre-created these questions, I would imagine these are the ones they're going to focus on first. And so, yeah, streaming. So, like before, a long time ago when they used to have AMAs, it used to be an actual live streaming event, and people would be typing in questions. They'll be answering, they'll be answering live at the same time. But since they've gone into the text format, I found it to be really difficult to follow along, at least the last time they did it. So that's why I wanted to do this. And okay, so we can see now that, Marian just provided a particular question, like what will Master and Ultra Dust now be used for? This is, I think, the most important question that we all wanted to know about. And so I'm glad that they're starting with this. And so, if you're following along already in the app, then, keep checking out, but this is where I'm going to be hanging out for the next little while they provide some answers. And so welcome to everybody. And so this is, I probably should have some music in the background, but let me see what I can do here, because this is on YouTube, so they're a little bit strict on the music stuff, but probably gonna be just me sitting here because I'm not set up for background music. Uh, Giovanni Parisi. No, not going to be Italian, unfortunately. And I see a lot more people joining here. This is obviously a very hot topic. And so, I'm going to keep checking. So we're looking at, you know, no answers just yet, except for one right here. This is the question that Miriam posted. I'm hoping that Mark or Daniil or Tiffany will focus on answering this first. They are definitely typing it up. And I am just, waiting anxiously to find out. And while we're here, I think it'll be also good to get your feedback on on your thoughts on all of this. So we waited basically all weekend to get answers to these questions. But really, I guess the question is, what answers are you looking for? All right. And right now, one of the things that I've been, paying attention to is what are people saying about what their concerns are. And if we sort of break down really the changes, the two concerns I think really is, well, we've made all this investment, buying into packs, saving our dust so that we can craft our heroes for the event that we really like. Now that they're going to if they take it away, then that effectively, makes it completely, all of our investment just kind of goes to waste. And so there's a monetary hit as well as just, that time and effort that's wasted. So that is definitely something that I think is really, really important for a lot of people. And for many people I've heard, that would be one of the main reasons that they will stop playing this game if they make the changes to the dust, right? And so, and I tend to agree. They're unlike the runes that we had in the past. We couldn't save runes, or at least not as much as we did, right? We saved runes, and there was a time when they switched from the runes to crystal packs, and then all of our rune dust basically went away. So that was one big deal. But I think back then, this is not really different, but now that sort of with like the new vault pack and everything that's combined, the Master Collection dust and the Ultra dust, and with all of the new packs that would come out, like the prehistoric, like the previous week's packs, etc. A lot of us invested a lot into them, and really this was sort of the way for us to forge these Ultimate Heroes. Because back then with the runes, you don't have Ultimate Heroes, you have Master Collection cards and ultra rare cards. Those were a little bit different. You didn't get the ultimate form that really sort of made made a huge difference in whether or not you can compete in the game. So that was one major factor here. So this definitely is something that we want to see answered. And I'm still waiting for an answer right now. But we do see more questions pop up, but none of the answers to the official questions. And it's going to be really hard for me to follow along if they don't answer the official questions first. And of course, there are some questions in here that are going to be a little bit more PG, so I'm not going to go into them right now. But I'll just kind of continue to sort of talk about what I think we should be seeing. And, dust is going to be the first one. The second one is really going to be the packs. How expensive is going to be with the new packs? So if you remember when we had our the pack system with the 3 packs, first one being the ultra rare card, the ultra rare pack that would come out on day 1, the day before the event starts. Then we have the event card pack on the day that the event actually starts. Then the second day is the relic pack. So those are 3 packs that we had to buy into, and the relics just before they switched over to the vault, I think, or the crystal or whatever it was, they moved the relic to tier 3, if anybody remembers. It used to be tier 2, and the tier 2 was 1,000 gems, and the tier 3 was 1,500. So there was like another 1,500 gems just for a relic. So that was a lot more expensive than the vault pack. And so, Mike Hunt, if I could get the answers to the questions, I would. As you can see, there is no answers to any of the questions that have been posted here. So we're just waiting. And let's see, Westwall, what do you think of this AMA concept in general? In all the games I've been involved, there have never been a talk to the dev session that is this clunky. So that is the reason why I'm trying this. I'm trying to, that's why I'm trying to do this stream, so that I could help sort of organize the questions and follow along a little bit. Like, this is our experience right now. Like, we're just sitting here waiting for the answers. It's 7 minutes past noon. I'm not sure if they're waiting for Frenzy to complete. And MTM, can I make up my own answers to the questions instead? Are you saying like I should just type it in myself? I think you can answer. We could definitely put our answer in there. I'm not seeing anybody else. Okay, so let's see. Is this another question? No. So the first answer, will we still be able to earn Master and Ultra Dust? So the answer, which I expected, is that we're not going to be able to earn them anymore. And so that is the first answer to the questions that we have. And let's see. So Westfall, like to answer your question, like I've typically seen Ask Me Anything as just live streaming sessions. And so with this being in text format, we kind of have to sort of follow along ourselves. And let's see. This is the experience I'm talking about. Like every new thing that pops up sort of changes where I'm at in the question section, so I can't really follow along. All right, so here is the answer to what we're going to be using the Master and Ultra Dust for. And the reason I'm doing this stream too is because I think I want to get a chance for people to provide their thoughts and as well. We can talk about this, and I'm going to share, like, this is going to be viewable too, so we can have this in one place. Everybody can sort of get their thoughts in, and let's read along here. So this is what Daniil said. So a limited time Christmas store will be coming to Corellis next week. In it, you'll be able to get guaranteed Generation 3 MCs and URs up to the Dragon Riders of Corellis event. So the Dragon Riders of Corellis event, that was the fire event. So basically everything up to the previous event, or this current event that we have. If you don't have enough dust to get those, there will be a cheaper option with no guarantees. In addition, there will be some special bonus offers with unique goodies. All right. So here's the answer. We're not going to be able to use the dust to get any of the future heroes anymore. Instead, we're going to be able to get them up to the point where they stop. So all of the safe dust that we had, we could now use them for the previous event. So in a way, it's not that bad because there were some teams, some decks that came out that was actually decent. Like an example for me, I didn't get the Water Nicole deck, and so now I'll have the opportunity to do so. So I don't know what you guys think about that. So this is the answer to their question for what are we going to do with the Master Collection dust. So it looks like it's a limited time. So it's going to be only next week during the next event, and we can get guaranteed. I would assume it's a trade system. You can trade your current dust for. Let me ask this question. Will the dust amount be equal to what was needed to craft the MC and UR as before? I think this is going to be an important question. There were times before when we've had these kind of trade systems that uses the currency, and then they sort of changed the exchange rate so that it was actually more expensive later on. So I think this is going to be an important question. So now that we can use the dust, great. Can we make sure that it's actually the same amount that we used to have? So like if you save up just enough for a Master Collection card or an Ultra Rare card, we better have that amount better be enough for us to get the previous one. So that's the answer right there. Let's see if there's any more answers to other questions. So no answers to this. Bridging the gap. So bridging the gap caused with no more Master Collection cards. So this is the answer that's given here. While I understand the killer skills being added will improve the support and main heroes, has there been or will there be serious consideration into bridging the gap that will be created by no longer having higher level power gems and additional skills from both master heroes? So let's take a look here. It's a short answer. Yes, both the main and support heroes will be more powerful, relevant parts of decks going forward. I'm not happy with this answer because you can't just say they're going to be more useful and more powerful and not provide more details on how it's going to be useful. Because I think, we've talked about these kind of changes, and what we really need to answer is like, well, how you're going to bridge the gap. Like having them be more powerful, what does that mean? So the game still requires you to be able to generate more power gems. And so will the support cards now be, can you elaborate more? let's see, elaborate more. How will the support cards be more powerful? I think it's important during these AMA sessions for us to dig a little bit deeper into the questions, into the answers as well, right? If they give a generic answer, let's make sure we probe and we ask a little bit more detail. We want to make sure that we, get clarity, because this is the opportunity to do so. And so, but I also want to make sure that we're asking in a way that is relevant and direct. So hopefully they'll be able to answer these as well. So let's see. Just kind of following along. Sorry, I'm trying to follow along on the chat as well, but I'm also actively fighting the app because it keeps refreshing. So I see one answer, two answers here. That might be the one that I provided. Oh my gosh, this is. I can't even deal with this. Look at this. So the one that I wanted to see. One answer, two answers. That's the one I just asked. And let's see. So now they also provided answers to Slayer and Commander skill points. Michael Herman, the answer on the exchange rate for dust, I don't know yet. I'm gonna go back and take a look. Right now they're asking, are Slayer and Commander skill points going to be removed, or will the new killer intensity apply to only new cards? Killer intensity will only apply to new cards. Existing cards will maintain their current abilities with Slayer and Commander skill points included. Okay, so that's not a good answer. I think that is actually not a very good thing. So that basically means that any of the existing cards that used to be capped on their skill points because of the skill points will now be weaker compared to with the killer intensity. So I kind of expected it, to be honest, because if you look at sort of the history, they don't go back and change existing cards skills. So I did expect this, but I'm not sure I'm happy with that, right? And so there's also a question on, does this mean we're going to see the same thing happen as with the Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3, where those older cards become obsolete because they're not compatible? And so there's no other answers from the devs there. So now we're going to have to really deal with different types of heroes. Like if there's no more, the big question here is, what does that mean with the relics? So if they go with the intensity system and they no longer use the skill system, then what happens to the relics? And let's see, tier 2 relics, just asking because we're time traveling everything else. Are we going back to tier 2 relics and 400 dust for ultra rare support cards? No answers there. Yeah, so I wish there was a way for me to just collect everything and sort of show it in a more organized manner. But right now, the problems right now, we all know this. The app just keeps refreshing, so there's no way for me to just kind of hold my spot and just kind of watch an area. And just with so many different questions, it's really hard to know when they're gonna answer new things. And I don't know if they've answered my previous question. I don't see an answer to that. All right, so will this change make it easier to earn the ultimate form? Do you believe this change will make it easier for players to earn the ultimate form? And if your aim is to make it more difficult, then what made you come to the decision that it was too easy? The historical pathway to earning the ultimate form was overly complex. We're stripping down the steps of obtaining it going forward to make it simpler and more achievable for everyone. All right, so this is probably not the answer that people are expecting. So they're saying that it used to be more difficult to get the ultimate form. It was more complicated. And now what they're hoping to do is make it more achievable for everyone. Again, if you think about it, now it's going to be like obtaining a shiny. Right? So it's going to be obtaining the shiny Master Collection card, but the problem is if you don't have the old cards, because what they're going to do is they're going to have the 3 historical heroes, then they're going to have the event card, and then the ultra rare. Those are going to be the 5 ingredients for getting the ultimate form. It used to be really difficult for people who haven't played the game for a long time to be able to get those old cards without going through the dust shop. Now, if you can go through a dust shop, great, but if those cards are not in a dust shop, what happens. Like whenever we see cards that are just, past the refresh of the dust store, then people have a hard time unless they buy it from the packs. So I think the thing is, does that the problem is the prob if I could type it properly. The problem is with older collection cards, if players don't have them, it actually makes it more difficult to obtain. So that's my thoughts on that, right? So the problem is going to be with the older collections. So the older collection is really going to be the challenge here, and also obtaining the event card. And I think the only way to obtain the event card is to get it in a pack, in a separate pack, and it depends on what tier you're going to get in. So there's two opportunities to get an the main card. Assuming they don't change the collection, you can get it from the collections reward, a 25% chance, and you're going to be able to get them in the pack. But in the past, when you used to be able to get the main card in the pack, it was tier 4. So now you got to go tier 4 into event pack, and then you need to go at least 2 tiers in support, and you need to go deeper if you want to chase the ultra rare. And then if you want relics, you need to go in there as well. So I'm not sure if anybody's asked a question on the cost. So let's see. Sounds like event card becomes messy. So it's maybe 3 different. Check out the relics one. So let's take a look at the relics one. Hope everyone's. Yeah, so this is what I mean. Like, I wish I could just, can I search a question? Trending? How do I follow a question? You know what? How can I follow? Can I follow? How? Follow question? Okay, that's what I'm going to do. So follow question. Let's follow this question. I haven't used this enough to... All right, so then if I go here, then I have these 3 questions. Okay, good. Wait. So seriously, I didn't follow any of the old questions. So no answers here. No, that's just the latest answer that I had. So Malia, the topic is what will ultimate relic recipes be like? Okay, thank you. What? Oh my god. Okay, so that's not the one. How is this going to affect TPG? That's not the official answer. What will ultimate relic like? I wish I could just search the question. How will Oh my god, this is driving me nuts. No. Guys, if you're asking now I'm getting sort of like different people asking the questions. Okay. Why are they asking that question? Gen 2 intensity with Gen 2 capability. I want to follow this one. I'm finding the app. That's what I'm doing. I'm finding the app more than I'm actually able to provide answers to this right now. And this is sort of the experience that you guys have. And for the developers, JD, if you're watching this, we need to do something about this. I've given feedback on the app, the fact that we can't just sort of scroll through and get sort of follow the questions. Even if we follow the questions, like, look at this. I'm following the questions, but I'm getting other things in here. Bridging the gap, no additional answers there. I'm not sure if they're going to go back and answer any of the old stuff, so I can only look at new answers. That's not answered by an official person. So let's see. We were doing well in the beginning, right? And now that more questions and more people are popping in, I'm not getting the... Fluffy and KDC having their own dialogue. No, that's not the one. Okay, I'm not sure where they're answering the questions at this point, right? Because I can't scroll enough. I can't scroll enough to fast enough to see the ones that were asked earlier. And so, oh my God, this is just insane. So, I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best right now. So let's see what we can do, right? So these are some of the relevant questions. And I'm just gonna keep following it. Sort of like these are the new ones that are being asked as well. So let's go ahead and at least follow the questions, and let's go to the follow section to find out if we can get answers to this, right? So these are all questions that Marianne is asking. Okay, and let's see. So I already followed these, but it feels like they're not answering the questions quickly enough or something. This one is, so Nick, I guess it's not Mark, it was Nick. So Nick answered here, will Gen 2 cards capabilities, I already followed this one, to generate intensity be relevant at all in deck building a deck, or will Generation 2 intensity be obsolete? All historical intensities and skill points will continue to function. Please elaborate. Because we know, like, it's not like the Generation 2 intensity stopped working when Generation 3 started. Our question is, how will this actually work with the new intensity that's about to come out? Will Gen 2 intensity work with the new Gen 3 intensity? That's really the question. I feel like the proper way to conduct an AMA really is one question or one post or somewhere in a room where nobody else can post answers except for the developers. Okay, because we're getting just tons of other people posting things, and it's just muddying the waters a lot. And we need a moderator to ask the questions and to probe on the questions to get more answers. Right now, everything is pretty much just like one-line answers. It's really difficult, and so I can't get more details. I want more details, and I'm hoping for more details. But let's see. So there's no follow-up to this either, and I'm not seeing answers to the questions I followed. Right? No answers here. Two answers. Let's see. Ultimate bosses, token packs, unanswered. Existing ultimate forms on par with new ultimate forms, unanswered. Directly for 6-star. I think I know the answers to this one. This one is just like, as soon as you get the cards, you get them at 6 stars. At least that was their answer before. This one is already answered and no follow-up, I think. No. Okay, here's Tiffany's answer. What will happen to revival packs, and will the dust pool be updated? So will there no longer be revival packs if hero cards are only obtainable during their respective events? So that's the thing that they said. We can only get our heroes in the event that they're in. Will this also mean the dust pool will be updated to include Gen 3 heroes so we can have the collection of historical cards for new ultimate forms? And Tiffany answered, ultimate revival packs will not exist going forward. But in the future, there will be other weekend packs with historical heroes, including Gen 3 heroes. You know what this means? This is the pack that is super expensive, where you can go up to tier 7 and there is a chance for you to earn the hero. It's different than the Vault pack. The revival packs that exist today, there's two forms. There's the Vault pack that really is just the same, that's basically re-offered the following week. And then there's the actual revival pack that has 7 tiers. And every tier has an increased chance for you to obtain the card that you're looking for. So what they will have is they're going to have the ultra rare revival pack, master collection card revival pack, and the relic revival pack. And each of those will have different, different rates for obtaining the items. And I don't think there's any guarantees. let's ask that question. For the weekend packs, will there be guaranteed? I'm assuming, based on what I know, that the guaranteed tiers aren't going to be there for any of the revival packs, but without their answers, I don't know. And so let's see. So in the web app, you can search the questions. Oh, you can, not in the. Okay. So let's see the chats here while I'm waiting. Let's see. If they kept, so it looks like, so yeah, so I'm hoping to go back to see some of the chats here, but if you have any questions for me directly, feel free to tag me. That's actually the easiest way for me to find information right now. This is kind of hectic, so I won't be able to check everything. But there was you have one-on with Miriam this morning regarding the cost of obtaining the event deck being more or less the same as now. Response was they don't usually discuss monetization issues. So that is to be expected, because I think monetization is something that is going to be difficult for any company to discuss with consumers. The best thing that they could do is provide they can't talk about speculations on whether or not packs are going to be more expensive or less, because ultimately it does depend on the consumers. The best thing that they could do is provide enough information to us so that we can make decisions for ourselves. And I'm hoping that they do that by answering the questions on what is going to be the pack pricing structure. That's how that they can answer that question. Like, that has nothing to do with speculation. That is what's going to be ruled out. So if they can answer that, that's going to help. Otherwise, we're going to have to wait until tomorrow. So I guess the worst thing is we can wait until tomorrow. But I'm hoping that we can. We can find out earlier. All right, so new answer. Existing Ultimate Forms on par with new Ultimate Forms. Many of the calculating rumors concern future Ultimate Forms being way overpowered compared to existing Ultimate Forms, or existing Ultimate Forms getting nerfed. But I see no mention of this in the announcement. I suspect that this stems from the change that new Ultimate Forms will automatically be 6 stars. So can you confirm existing 6-star Ultimate Forms will be on a similar par to the new Ultimate Forms? Thank you. Nick answered. Existing cards are not being changed in any way. Historical Ultimate Forms will remain as is. That doesn't answer the question. So that means they're not going to change. So I guess the one thing I can infer from this is if there is going to be a change to the new Ultimate Forms being 6 stars, they're not going to change any of the existing cards to like upgrade them. But it doesn't actually answer anything about whether they're going to be on par or not. So I don't even know what to say to this. So they don't answer anything about the existing Ultimate Forms being on par. So based on this answer, I think it's just whatever you have today, that's what you're gonna have, right? There's gonna be no upgrades, no changes to it. So if the new cards indeed are going to be all as 6 stars, with the cards at 6 stars, they will continue to have times 4. I think it's times 14, right? If you do times 14 for 6 stars today, I believe that's the multiplier. They'll continue to be times 14, which makes them much stronger than the cards that are at less than 6 stars. Can you confirm that the damage boost for the 6 stars will remain the same as the current system? That's sort of the question that they haven't really answered. So like they say, oh, it's going to be 6 stars. Things are going to be changed to make sure they bridge the gap. But what they haven't answered is, are they going to have exactly the same damage boost as the existing system? Because if it is, then what we suspect is going to be true, in that all of the new cards will be just that much more powerful. So Noelia, you have a private message through the network app with the link with a Okay, so you got a private message with me. Okay, so here is the relic question. Let's go back, right? Let's go back here, and here it is. Here's the link to the relic question. I can search in the web app. Okay, so what will ultimate relic recipes be like? Will forming the ultimate relic require 3 of the same event relic plus an event exclusive rare relic evolution material? Or are the relics and materials interchangeable among the like events, etc.? Okay, so Daniil answered, you will only require 1 event relic and 1 rare event relic evolutions material plus 3 historical relics. The historical relics for each weekly recipe will be randomly selected from permanent historical relics like legend relics, hammers, etc. Okay, I hope not legend relics. Legend relics actually are going to be something that people will not want to part with, but hammers are good. Right, hammers are things that are easy to get. Other things are going to be like canes and also just canes as well as shields. How many shields do we get whenever we open packs, right? I feel like I'm always getting shields and targas, and so if those are the requirement, then that's totally fine. Like I don't think that's going to be an issue even with newer players. The main question here is how will we obtain the rare event relic evolution material? The problem is a lot of people have dusted them because of the inventory size issue. So that's KDC's perspective on it. Like what happens if I don't have any of these because we can't buy them back. But you can go to the gear dungeons and you can just farm these items actually. So they can actually be farmed easily from the gear dungeons. So at least from my perspective, this is less of an issue. And also like whenever you open packs in a current event, you always get those things that we consider to be useless anyway. And so I think that it's okay. It's just they haven't answered on how you will actually acquire the rare event relic evolution material. Like if I had to guess, it probably will be in the relic pack. Because I don't see how you could get them otherwise. Like they should just have any rewards. Like I honestly feel like if they simply just put the rare event relic evolution material in the rewards for playing, then it will become another incentive to play the event to earn the material so that we can forge our event relic to an ultimate relic. Like I think that would be a really good way moving forward. But again, with no answers to how we're going to obtain those, I can only speculate. So thanks a lot for that, Nolia. So let's take a look here at some of the other answers to the questions, and I just want to make sure that let's see. So here's the questions on ultimate bosses and the tokens and packs. Will there be 50 ultimate boss tokens in the packs on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday? So let's see. Ultimate bosses will be removed. So there's going to be no more ultimate bosses. So there's not going to be any more need for those tokens either. And so that in a way actually will be a really good thing, I feel, depending on your position on it. So the removal of ultimate heroes, ultimate bosses, means that Slayers isn't going to be whether or not you can take out ultimate bosses anymore. Because for a long time, Slayers has just become a collect as many ultimate tokens as you can and just defeat as many levels of ultimate bosses as you can. There's no need to do anything else. Like you're only doing solos to get the tokens, so there's no need to do anything below Cobalt. And really, that also takes away a lot of the times for other things. So if you don't have the decks, if you don't have like the ultimate form from this event and the previous event, then you're basically completely out of luck for your placement. So I think this could actually be a good thing for Slayers. Not sure how you guys feel about that, but I think that it's a good choice. Yeah. So I think that. Personally, I think that is not bad for Slayers. For Commanders, it's also a pretty. I think that the challenge with Commander events and Ultimate Bosses, you have to deal with keys. Like you don't, like we lose out on we lose out on our collections because we can't do the ultimate. And Ultimate Bosses, it's a guaranteed 2 trillion damage or 2 billion trophies every time you do it, so it does help a lot if you have a lot of keys. And so I think just removal of ultimate bosses in that regard is a good thing, but I feel like then we're now losing sort of an area where we can actually have challenge. And so Yeah, so world bosses will still remain, but there's going to be no more ultimate boss. So that's going to be sort of like where we can have the big bosses for those of us who are looking for some challenges. So let's see. Yeah, so you guys are answering amongst yourselves. Thank you very much for doing that. And so let's take a look at some additional answers here. No, no answer to that. Let's see any of the. So these are the following questions, like the questions I have followed. Okay. So do you directly forge 6-star, 1 pink star, or is it 6 pink stars all at once? Newsfeed states that both cards and relics can be directly forged as 6 pink cards. Please clarify as this is a 6-star card with 1 pink star or 6 pink star cards or relic. So this is referring to directly collecting a 6 pink star ultimate hero or ultimate relic card from their respective collections if you satisfy the collection requirement. So that's confirmed. 6 pink stars, not going to be just 6 stars with 1 pink star. Any follow up here? So let's see. No follow there. Gent 2 intensity. No, let's see. No follow up. Here. A new question. So, question: will the rare relic evolution material take up inventory space? The answer is no. These are catalysts, so they're not going to take up space. Okay. And what will be replacing bosses if there's going to be no more secrets, punishers, solo legends, all of those things? So one major goal of a new Dawn is to clean up designs that may have made sense long ago, but over time lost their intention. So not every boss will have a 1-for-1 replacement. So that means if they take away secrets and punishers, it doesn't mean that we're going to get a new thing that replaces the secret, a new thing that replaces punishers. I think solo legends are going to go away, but the legends are going to be replaced by something else. So solo legends actually have a place in commander events because they don't have any killer skills applicable to them. And so I actually like that. And it's just that, they were sort of like, they sort of moved into a single affinity legend bosses, and that kind of became a little bit boring as well. But if they're going to come back with a new type of challenge boss, I'm curious if it's going to be something that killer bonus skills isn't necessarily going to be the rule all for all in this particular, at least for guild bosses. I think that was a really fun factor. People who had like a previous, like a different affinity boss could really come in and kind of like Frenzy, right? Kind of like Frenzy in Slayers. We had something like that for commanders for guild bosses, but we don't have that in a long time. So based on this answer, don't know what the replacement is going to be like, just that there's not going to be a 1-for-1 replacement. It sounds like they have a plan. They have a plan for what they want to put in there, just unfortunately is not quite answered. What will happen to revival packs? Let's see, are there additional answers here? No, we answered that already. And we talked about that one. And let's see, how do we get this? That we answered that one. I want to look for ones that have just one answer, right? So let's see. Oh, there's a response to my question, but that is not from any of the developers there. And so there's no additional follow-up there. And I think that is pretty much all of the followed questions I have. Let's see. Yeah, so those are the follow questions. Let's see if there's any new ones here. Will existing... No, no answers from. I'm not going to go into any ones that's not answered by the official dev team. So these are questions asked but not answered by devs. Question, but that's KDC's question. So let's see. Astrid, I'm trying my best. Thank you for joining here. I am hoping that I could provide some clarity, at least, organize the questions a little bit. And I am providing my own input, yes, but I also would like to hear a lot from you guys as well. So, let's talk about what, how you feel about the answers here. Does it answer your questions? And does it actually, trigger more questions, really, is the thing. And, things that we have heard so far, just a quick summary, is that we're going to be able to use the ultimate rare dust and the master collection dust to collect previous heroes. And so I guess that opens up the question for, well, which one is going to actually be useful. So I'm waiting for the store to open up, and then we can talk about what should you go after with your existing Master Collection dust, because I think most of us probably have enough for just one ultimate form. So which one should you go with? That is going to be an interesting question, but we can't use them for future anymore. And the other thing is, we're going to be getting the 6 stars. It looks like they're not going to make any changes to previous ones. But the big question that we still haven't heard answers to is, how will this actually work with the new intensity system, right? Like how we're gonna be able to combine the two, like. Relics, won't the relics be different now? Like will the new relics now only generate intensity, or will they continue? They're not going to do skill points anymore, so that means we can't use the new relics on older ultimate forms. That's what I'm reading into this. Okay, so we have accepted answer, legendary X. Yeah, so this is where it now becomes hard to... And honestly, guys, like, if you answer the questions that other people are asking, like, it's difficult because we have non-official employees answering questions to the official questions. And that makes it difficult because we're looking for official answers, right? And so this just kind of makes it really difficult to even figure out what we should go and look at. I don't know who's asking these questions. Okay, I can't like, honestly. So I know that they're trying to lighten the mood a little bit, but I really hope that we could answer some of the other questions here. But the cookies, I am curious what those cookies are going to be used for, but they're being a little bit cryptic and they're not answering that right now. So let's see. If I see other questions that Marianne asks, then I will follow it if I see new questions, because I don't know if they're going to be answering non-official questions first. We are now 44 minutes into the AMA, and I don't feel like we have all the answers to some of the most important questions, right? The questions that... Yeah, okay, I'm going to follow this because she asked it, but no one's answering that except for KDC. Is the AMA done? I don't know because people keep posting new ones, and I can't get to the ones that have an actual answers. Let's see, Gen 2 and Intensity, Killer Skill Intensity that has one answer. We got that one already. That's what is it good for? How do we get these? How do we get these materials? Okay, let's follow this one. No, I already followed it. So here's Tiffany's answer. Yeah, I kind of figured. So the rare relic evolution material is going to be available in the relic pack. So not going to be through the gameplay, but it's going to be available in the pack. So now it depends on what tier there's going to be a guarantee. I bet you there's going to be a guarantee for the rare relic evolution material, and it's very likely going to be after the tier that you get your relic. It just makes sense. It wouldn't make sense for them to give you... Well, actually, it wouldn't be too out of a stretch either, right? If they offered you the rare relic evolution material first, and then place the guaranteed tier for the relic later. Like, both of those could work. But by putting the evolution material in the relic pack, it does mean that we are going to have to spend on it if we expect to get the ultimate relic. But my thoughts are this. Number one, is the ultimate relics going to be the new thing that will make or break the game? So up to this point, I've gotten by without ever needing to get the ultimate relic, just because it was a good boost, but it's not something that broke the event for me. And so the important question here is whether or not the ultimate relics is actually going to have a much bigger role when you play events. Like, is it going to fulfill a gap in your event team? If the answer is yes, then this makes this a requirement, and that will make it more expensive. If the answer is no, then great, we kind of go back to how things were, and we kind of move along. Another question I have here, which I kind of wanted to ask, but I don't want to fill up the list of questions there, I'll probably just ask afterwards, is what will happen with the season pass? Are we still gonna have a seasons pass? Like if I have a season pass, I would expect those people who are paying for the pass to just get the evolution material and everything they need, or just give them an ultimate relic right away. Like I think that would be just only fair for those of for those people who are spending $40 a month on a season's pass, because that was guaranteeing them an ultimate relic. Will they get the guaranteed ultimate relic through the collection of these evolution materials? Like I think they should, right? I think they totally should. So they don't have to go deep into the pack. They should just get it. They already paid $40 a month for it. That is what I would want to do. So there's a question about my hat. So this hat right here, I went to Litz and got it myself, but I didn't like my experience with Litz. I'm actually looking for a different vendor to do it. So while I'm here, I guess one of the things I wanted to do is to try to get another one for a giveaway at some point. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get it in time for Christmas, but check in on my channel later on. I'll probably have some sort of event where I can give away something, including some shirts and also a hat here. So Steve Blake, the only way old relics make sense with a new intensity system is that you throw them in for the effect, like a resurrect, but it lacks an intensity gain. The concern is whether they'll have the same power bonus. So that's a good question. So some of those older relics that have different purposes, they actually are useful. Like if they give you a revive, that is definitely a one that is still going to be useful moving forward. But with a new intensity sort of focus, it's going to be hard to say. Like really, just how are you going to be able to use the new relics with the old ultimate form? That's a big question for me. So thanks for subscribing, Tony Ansel. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Let's see. So is there any new questions that are... there's a question to the question. Not Marianne, not answered by... Nope, that's not answered. So I think probably, I'm not sure how long they plan to do. Like another thing I wish they would do is they would give us a time box as to like how long they're going to answer the questions for, and to officially say, let me see if there's anything in the announcements. I don't see anything in announcements that talk about when they're actually going to be done. If they're still answering, great. But no, this is not the question that's asked by Marianne. Let's see in the following. Let's see some of the questions I followed, if there's any new answers. So these ones are answered already, right? Existing on par, do you directly, this one's answered. What will happen to revive packs? Gen 2 intensity, is there anything new? No elaboration to my questions. And what will be replacing bosses? That was answered already. This is answered. How will the change make it easier to earn ultimate form? This was answered, but no additional. Oh, here's some more. So let's see, some more questions here. Like Matt Miss, like is it complex? He didn't think it was complex before. He's saying that it might be nothing has changed. Katie Floss has a question. The question is how accessible the heroes are going to be, just like what we say it is. Every player has the opportunity to earn one of each dust, but now we're going to have to earn the ultra rare, which is going to be more difficult. And so there is no additional answers there either. Bridging the gap. This one, no additional response there. Yeah, so these are just responses from the players and not any more follow-up from the developers. And to be fair, I understand that there's a lot to go through, and if they're going through the app like we are, like I am right now, then it's going to be difficult too. So again, JD, listen to the stream, listen to the section. Let's talk it out. There are definitely some things that we can improve in the app experience for AMA. Like I think having a sort of AMA focused room would be really helpful for these kind of interactions. I think there's a lot of opportunity for us to provide more coverage this way. So just kind of think about that. So I don't see any new questions at this point. So if there are any new ones that I've missed out on, please feel free to also tag me in the questions section here. But so far, again, just to recap, right? So we know that everything is going to be in packs. Doesn't sound like anything is going to be earned through play. We know that it's going to be requiring an ultra rare as well as the old heroes, but we don't know how we're going to be able to get those historical heroes. No answers on the Dust update, and there is no answers on the sort of compatibility between the new relics and the old Ultimate Forms. We do know that the new Ultimate Form heroes are going to be 6 stars, and that it is going to be more powerful than the old historical heroes. That's for sure. The old Ultimate Forms. And finally, our dust that we've saved up so far, we can use to get everything up to the Dragon Riders of Corellis event. And so, for sure, the follow-up for us is then to figure out what would be the correct Ultimate Form for you as a player with those saved up dust to then get. If you missed out on something, you should get that. Or maybe you want to get more, pink stars on your Ultimate Forms. Because my concern right now is, what's the point of getting an Ultimate Form at 1 star when the upcoming event with the same killer skills is simply going to be that much stronger? But I guess that's still an Ultimate Form that still gives you the killer bonus, and you're still going to be able to get something for free. And so that would be sort of like the saving grace there. So Westwell, if you got over 30 ultimate relics, and if they're not going to be useful after the event, you're not going to be a happy wolf. Yeah, I would imagine a lot of people would be in that similar situation. Delancey Richardson, what will happen to the old and new legends? I don't think they've answered anything on legends at all. Are they going to have a Generation 3 legend? Don't know. So not an answer here. Other questions? I'm not seeing any more questions. And I'm not seeing any more answers from developers. So again, I think I saw something. So again, if you're so let me know, like, by tagging my name so I can see it. So Noelia, this is what the new answer. Killer skill cards can't be used against new challenge bosses. So the killer skill cards can't be used against the new challenger boss. Oh, is that what they answer? Oh, so that makes it less fun. Like, a whole challenger bosses is so that we don't have killer skills, so we have to be creative with different decks. But if that's the case, then that makes it less interesting, in my opinion. Westwell, didn't the network say a few days ago that one of the driving forces behind this change was make building your deck achievable by playing through the event? So the things that they said is they want to make it easier to obtain the cards. They want to make it more rewarding to get the event cards. And they want to open up more deck building than it is today. What they didn't answer is what they're going to do with Generation 2. Like, are they going to up level any of the... No, they answered that. They're not going to touch any of the existing cards. So I had a thought in my head, like, if we're going to go with intensity, can we, bring up at least make it so that we have empowerment for all the Gen 2 heroes? I don't think that was... Oh, Noelia answered the Ultimate Form question I posted, so that was the answer. So they are going to use it. I see. Thank you very much, Noelia, for that. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if the answers I've seen so far tells me that it's going to be easier to achieve by playing through the event. Like, I haven't heard anything so far that gives us rewards through the event, because we don't have any way to craft anymore. So there's no crafting. There is, the only way to get Ultimate Form Relic is to get through a pack. The only way to get an Ultra Rare card is through the pack. And it sounds like the only way to get the historical heroes is either you have them already, or you have to get them through the Dust Shop, or maybe they're going to be available in the pack. So, yes, so far, I don't see anything that tells us that it's going to be easier to obtain the event through play. So what they haven't answered is, what will the rewards look like? How will it incentivize us to play? How will it incentivize us to play if we don't buy the deck? That's really the right question. Like, if we don't buy the deck, should we even bother playing? That's really going to be ultimately the question here. Should we bother playing the event if we don't buy the deck? And so that is not something that I've seen an answer to. Pink Stars. Delancey Richardson, I think what my personal opinion here is that if we were to get new ultimate heroes at 6 stars. I don't see how you can possibly improve it anymore beyond that unless they introduce a new mechanic, like a gold star, for example. But those 6 stars is going to be that much more powerful compared to an old one you have. So keep in mind, we recycle killer skills. And we're now in the second cycle of killer skills. And so we've already seen, right? There's no reason to get a new hero if you're just going to get the 1 stars. Like, I didn't get any of the new ultimate heroes, ultimate forms, because I have the killer skills from the first cycle, and I felt that it was good enough. Now it's going to be different. Now when you get the ultimate form at 6 stars, there is no way to replace it with an older one unless you also have it at 6 stars. So that is going to be that is sort of the challenge that we are going to have. And so Astra, thank you very much for joining here. This is sort of like the AMA that has I'm doing my best to answer to follow on the questions, but I think they may have stopped for now, and so the stream will probably be ending relatively soon. There is going to be additional videos that will come out after this as well. So I definitely don't want to say this is the answer, but this is sort of like what I've gotten from what I've heard so far. Again, what I recommend is let's wait until the event starts tomorrow to find out for sure. I think that this answers some of the questions that we can at least be a little bit better prepared, but at the same time, it's there are things that I just feel is still unanswered, and we will need to have follow-up as well. So that's not the question that they asked, and they're going to accept the Monopoly money at any time soon. Yeah, so it doesn't look like there's any more. So the really question is, are they answering any of the questions that I have, right? So here's the answer. Nope, not officially from the Legendary team. Ultimate bosses, so there is, so that was answered already. And existing on par, no answers there. Yeah, I think Nick didn't have a, this was Nick's answer, and then Daniil follow up and saying existing 6-star ultimate forms you have will have similar skill design, event skill power, affinity bonus, and everything compared to the new ultimate form. So that's exactly what they're saying. That's what we figured. You have to, like, once you have the same star system, then you're the same. But if you're below it, then you're not going to have the same kind of bonuses. Because remember, at ultimate form 6 stars, not only do you have a higher killer bonus, you have 2 ultimate gems that you can create. But I don't know if ultimate gems are going to be a thing anymore, actually. So I don't know what other power-ups you get from getting 6 stars, but it is going to be, non-6 stars are going to be that much weaker. That's the thing we know. And so how do you compete in the future? That's really the question. I still feel that there's a path forward. I'm going to figure it out, and then we're going to continue to work on that. So let's see. Any other questions that have answers here, or at least newer answers? So this is Tiffany's question. Tiffany's answer, no follow-up. Okay, so it is now 1 o'clock. I am going to assume that the question and answering period is now over. And so what we're going to do is we're going to leave it at this. And then if there's any additional follow-up afterwards, there's going to be a summary of the AMA questions that the network legendary team is going to compile. So let's take a look at that afterwards as well and see how they compare to the notes that we have taken while we're here. You want T-Bone to do a COD MF live stream? What's that? What's COD MF? I'm not sure I understand that. So Art Fox Contact, it's Candy. Nice to see you here. So yeah, world bosses will remain, and that is, I don't know what they're gonna do in terms of like the world bosses, whether they're gonna make it more difficult, because as it is, the world bosses aren't that strong if you have an ultimate form already. So I'm not sure. What they're gonna do with that. So yeah, Westwolf, that's what Daniil said. If you have an existing 6-star ultimate form, it will be on par with the new ultimate forms that are going to be coming out. So the Reaper, you're going to need to have 16.8 thousand Master Collection cards to Master Collection dust, as well as the ultra rare dust in order to forge the ultimate form, because I think they're going to use the same system. You need both the ultra rare card and the Master Collection card to forge it. and then form your ultimate form. And so if you have 14 and 15 of the different affinities, eeks, I don't think you're going to have a way to earn anymore. So that is unfortunate. But what they did say is if you have less than what's required, you can still use those to obtain other things. What those other things are, I don't know. So we'll have to find out. Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Oh, I see. I play it, but I play it on my Xbox. I don't really play on the PC, but I guess that's something that could be done. I have so many games I play. I'm not gonna be able to stream everything. Eddie F, hello from overseas. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so I think I'm gonna wrap up the stream for now. So I don't want to rattle on too much. And this just in from Noelia. Nick, today at 1725, tier 2 relics are back. Let's see. So people are also privately messaging me. I just want to make sure that I'm not missing anything. But I think for now, what I will do is I'm going to wrap up the stream here. And what I will say is I do have, legendary. For those of you who are new to my stream, to my channel, I also do live streams on events for Legendary Game of Heroes on Tuesdays, at least during Tuesdays, about 3 or 4 hours after store reset. No, sorry, 4 or 5 hours after store reset. So join me tomorrow. We're gonna talk about the new event with brand new changes. We're gonna talk about more of those then. So do join me. I will again post the link in my chat as well as the official one. And so thank you so much for joining us here. Hopefully this has been helpful for you. Let's check back after they summarize everything, and then we will have a follow-up and talk about it more. Comment down below, feel free to comment here, and also just comment in the videos. Let's talk more, and let's, continue with the chats. Let's keep the discussions going, because I think this is how we can make a difference. We need to keep making this known that, what is acceptable, what is not, what will work, what will not work. We have to think about player bases at all levels. This is what we need to do. So thank you very much, everybody. Thanks for your kind words, and I'm going to sign off for now. I'll see you next time. All right. So keep coming back for my stream on Tuesday. So that's tomorrow, 4 hours after 4 to 5 hours after the stream. I will have the link. Take care. See you next time. Bye now.